Welcome to the Surly Horns podcast. This is season 2, episode 11. I almost just fucked up because I'm drunk and said season 10, episode 2.
Hey, wait, hold up.
No, none of those numbers make any sense. RGB3, how you doing today?
Hold up. He just messaged us.
Our special guest today is Jeffrey the Shark McCulloch. How you doing today, man?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, welcome on.
We are so happy that you are here. And without even just any introduction at all, we're just going to go straight into Pro Day. How do you think you did? How did you feel about it? What are you thinking?
The scouts were giving pretty good feedback. They were saying I did well. All my times and numbers and everything that they tested us on was good. So good. It was to the point where they were pretty much amazed that I was able to take a year off and still be able to come back and do that. So that was just a blessing in itself, being able to get their attention. That's all I needed, was to be put in front of them, put in the room. And I finally got that opportunity after a year, and I feel like I capitalized on it.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, because it is, I mean, it's got to be tougher too, taking that year off. And I know you've had a lot of stuff working, obviously Macomb's grad, you got to be, busy guy. So I know you've had a lot of stuff working, so be able to keep that fitness up at that level and still compete at Pro Day with, the big, Joseph Osai and stuff, these guys that, have all the scouts' attention, to be able to turn their heads away from that. Kudos to you. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. That was one of my biggest things, was just do me, run my race and make them feel me. Don't be left out.
Where are you looking at? Where the scouts looking at you mainly? Inside, outside, edge. Where do they envision you?
Orlando moving me around is giving me the ability to market myself as a hybrid. I can play any of the 4 or 5 linebacker positions: inside, outside, weak side, field side, safety, nickel. Not your traditional safety, but your roll down boundary guy. I've just been able to put all of that on film. So that's the way the NFL has been perceiving me. He's a special teams guy that can play all special teams, and he can go play any linebacker position for anyone that goes down.
That sounds like a 15-year player to me. I mean, that's what teams are looking for, versatility. You're looking for, a guy that can come in, hey, let's get Shark in there. Hey, we're in this, we got to cover this random guy that, is giving us fits, put Shark in there. That's huge. And then just the ability and the attitude to play special teams alone is something that, some people, they're not looking for that, but, you can carve a good ass career out of that.
I don't understand why people don't like special teams. That's one of the funnest parts of the game, especially as a linebacker. You mean to tell me I don't have to read, I don't have to make a call, I have no responsibilities. All I have to do is run and hit. I can do that.
Hit.
Like, that's
that sounds fun.
Take
the thinking out.
That's the way it's supposed to be.
Use your head in a different way.
Man, having to know route combinations and what coverage goes with what, who's probably going to get beat, where my safeties need to be for run help, RPO, like all this other shit that goes to your mind before a snap, it's irrelevant on kickoff. Run straight, hit the person with the ball, see ball, hit ball. I can fucking do that.
There you go.
And if the guy gets behind you, just hit somebody else.
Hit something.
So how big did you feel before your Pro Day? Did you feel as big as when you graduated before the year off? Did you feel bigger? Did you feel smaller? Did you feel leaner? Like, how did you feel physically from, like your frame and everything that you were putting on going into Pro Day?
Okay, there's a question. So I was much lighter. I was about 30 pounds lighter than what I played at. So I felt like a feather out on the field. It's a lot easier to show pass rushing and all these other things when I had the ability to. I just was a little bit overweight in college, but now I'm back to the weight that I need to be, 230, 235. I'm able to move. I'm limber. Been doing the Pilates. Who would ever thought I'd be in Pilates? But
yeah, right.
Been doing Pilates. And I'm have better ankle flexibility, hips, just the joints that I needed that I didn't realize were essential. They've all been amplified in this time, and I've had more time to work on these things. So my body felt really good going into Pro Day.
That's awesome. Have you been, I know I've heard that a lot, after kind of the transition from McKnight to Becton now. Have you been training with the current team as well, or are you just doing it all on the side?
I've been out in Houston at All In Gym with a guy named Justin Allen. He's the owner of the gym. He's been preparing me since the day I came home from LA, the very first day. So we got to work, and we hadn't stopped since then. The transition from Yancey to the new staff, they seem cool. I really hadn't been around them much besides Pro Day, but I know one thing: they're a family. They came in and they were like, look, we're Longhorns now too. Y'all are Longhorns, so we're on your side. Whatever you need today, we're here for you. You need to stretch, you need to warm up, you need us to slow the pace down. This is your day. We're here to help you.
Do you think that's different from some of the other pro days that like maybe you weren't like a participant of, or do you feel like that's a little bit different where it is a little bit more inclusive with this staff? You mentioned that, but I'm just kind of trying to dig in a little bit on that.
This staff is more focused on them. They're focused on the now and what can we do. They're not so much looking at the past and the future. It's about what's happening now. How do we make the best of what's in front of me right now? And that's why I like this staff.
That's awesome.
Even while we were down there, they were like, okay, y'all are our vets. Y'all are who these guys look up to. You're going to the league. We want you to come back and work out with us.
Man, that's crazy to think about.
Like we want you around them.
They're willing to invest as much as they can in the here and now because being a Longhorn now is what matters.
Well, I think it's cool too. You know,
cool take.
If you think about it, I mean, it's the current staff that, you know, technically they didn't really have any ties to the guys that are at pro day. You know, all these guys that are graduating, they have had limited experience to begin with. So, you know, investing that time is, you know, just in and of itself I think it's pretty refreshing to just hear about, you know, the level of involvement that the staff is, you know, kind of putting in. But so Shark, you know, you mentioned, you know, you've taken this year off. What else does life look like, you know, besides just training and trying to, you know, slim down and doing all that Pilates? You know, what else does it look like? I know you're getting into your entrepreneurship quite a bit.
Yeah, man, it looks good on the outside. It looks fun before you start doing it and you realize you have to do everything. But I've opened up a few companies since I've since I've left campus, so to say. I don't really know how you classify it anymore because of this Corona. But,
yeah, right.
Since my time away from the university, I have started a few companies. A concierge company that handles luxury rentals. Whether you need a Ferrari, Lamborghini, Rolls Royce vehicle, a condo downtown, do you need a mansion on the lake? Do you need a yacht on the lake? It just depends on whatever type of night or event you're planning on having. I have those types of assets at my disposal to be able to rent out to people. Then we have real estate development. I actually have a meeting Sunday. I am working on a athlete development. It'll be 6 to 8 homes, townhomes going up, all purchased and financed through different types of players I've either played with or know throughout the game. If you've gotten your check from the league, you know, they're investing with me on that project. What else do we have going?
Life after media. I've seen a lot of that. You know, obviously we've, you know, that's one of the reasons why we were so interested in having you on as well. You know, we saw, you know, y'all's reflections on the Herman era and thought, you know, wow, what a perfect opportunity to, you know, talk about that.
So I just got off the phone out of that meeting. We have 3 or 4 new series about to launch at the beginning of April. Life After Gives Back, Life After Workouts, Life After Money Mondays, and Life After like Big Brother series where they're giving us knowledge on how to make the transition into the real world. Basically, the questions y'all were asking me, what have I been doing there? These Big Brothers are here to help make the path easier for guys that are making the transition like myself. Well, so we have those series going up, going to be filming and telling those stories and getting those stories out there to people so that way we can grow that page.
You told us on Twitter that you had plenty of time and you were open, but it really sounds like you're keeping pretty busy. So
but I'm making my own schedule, so it's not too bad. I'm allowed to say when and when we don't meet. If I'm busy, let's cancel it, move to the morning. So I have a little bit of leeway. That's the one and only nice thing about working for yourself. Everything else is hell.
Yep. Set your schedule, but you still got to follow through with the schedule is what I've kind of figured out.
Exactly. So. That's the harder part. Yeah.
So on Pro Day, how's it all structured? Do they do subsequent workouts where one athlete goes and then another athlete goes? Or is it kind of, okay, we're going to do these skill position guys? Or is like Sam Ellinger just out there throwing balls and then you guys are running shuttles over on the other side? How's that all set up?
Is it a spotlight or is it? Yeah.
So like I was saying, the new staff had it incredibly streamlined. All testing was done first, weight, height, arms, all the usual. And then we moved on to bench press and vertical, and our numbers are 40 and all the combine stuff. And then we went position-wise for field work, Sam, then linebackers, DBs, then D-line, then receivers went with Sam. It was just each position went by themselves.
Oh, so Sam went first by himself.
Yeah, Sam went first, but he had a ton of receivers. Sam had a team in there. Sam was not by himself. Let's just
Well,
Sam was not by himself at all.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah. Well, I think we got to, kind of jump in and we got to talk about the Tom Herman era. It's been a big topic of conversation for all Longhorn fans all year long. And, it's nice to, kind of look into the future, but it's nice to reminisce as well. And I got to know, are the piss charts and the burnt toast and runny eggs, is that real?
Real as for fucking me, bro.
Oh, I knew it.
It's hell.
What?
Real
straight in. No
so
fucking
bad,
lube, Rob.
Yeah. So how many times were you just
bad.
So how many times were you a bad guy in terms of your piss? Because the orange
it's not allowed to happen often, but of course it does, because I'm not a computer. I don't have a cord coming out my ass, but it happens. You can't let it happen often, especially me being a leader of the defense, being the linebacker, the one that keeps everything together and under control. I had to be the guy that was right every day. So I had to be up at 3-4 chugging water to be sure I couldn't miss it.
That's
crazy. You be up at 3 or 4 in the morning to piss, so that
because it's running through you.
Level. How was it measured? Like, did you piss in like a thing and then you held it up and you fucking like showed other people, or did they like?
Nah, it was like a drug test every morning. You had weight interns that would stand at the urinals, so you had to back up and they watch you piss into a cup, and then your nutritionist has a little thermometer looking thing that tests the salt level, and I don't know the science.
So somebody touched your piss every single morning.
Every morning. You put a glove on and stick the little thermometer thing in there, and it would tell you either hydrated or not.
I thought it was like, so when I saw the piss chart, originally I was thinking like, okay, it's like, hey, here's a chart above the urinal. They take a piss and it's like, trying to be conscious of it. It's like one of those cat hang in there posters where it's just like, hey, we really want you to, nope. I did not know.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
That would make sense for grown men, that's kind of what we thought it was going to be, but no. It was a literal. They had to watch it leave your shaft and go into the cup, and then watch you walk the cup over to get tested
every morning.
Every morning before 5:45, you had to pass. If not, you was going home and coming back Saturday night.
Oh my God, I would fail every time.
Championship levels of hydration.
Yeah, and then
without the championships though.
Yeah,
that's not a knock on you. That is not a knock on you.
We got a few of them. Wait a minute.
Yeah,
we got a Sugar Bowl champ. We went to the Big 12 championship.
Big 12, come on.
It just didn't work.
It
was in order to win those big types of games and those extremely big moments, everything has to fall into place perfectly all at the same time. Yeah. And it just didn't for us.
And you know what? If you care so much about your players' piss level, why do you not care how they eat? Was always what I was concerned about. So the burnt eggs, the burnt toast part. I want my players to carbo load. I'm not eating burnt toast. I just can't do it.
I mean, that was just more of a point.
I guess
that was gonna make sure you eat later in the day. It was just bullshit for breakfast.
Yeah. I guess that's true. Yeah. But so I also I have to touch on the story because I've heard it a billion times, and I'm guessing you were in the locker room. In Tom Herman's opening press conference with you guys, did he really tell Malcolm Roach to sit the fuck up?
Shut the fuck up.
Yes, he did.
That's crazy. Like one of the most respected guys in the locker room, and you're telling him to sit the fuck up in your very first time you're meeting everybody?
Very first day. It was.
Tom Herman did some good stuff at the university, going from Charlie Strong, who I know you were recruited by,
Actually, my recruitment started with Matt.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that. We're gonna get into your full recruiting story. My good colleague RGB3 loves to get ahead of himself. He loves to make predictions like losing in the first round of the tournament. He's got to be awful. He's got to be awful.
Yeah, I predicted that jokingly, and then it happened, and now I feel like the biggest asshole on the planet.
I was like,
you are the biggest asshole because you
Abilene Christian.
Bro, the 13th seed. Are you kidding me? Like, are you kidding me?
So I work with a guy who grew up in Scotland. Until he was in his mid to late 20s and then moved to Uruguay. It lives there now and whatever, right? I was like, do you watch any American basketball at all? Do you understand what the tournament is? And he was like, no, explain it to me. And so I explained to him, there's 64 teams. They're like, there's hundreds of teams and they choose the 64 best teams and then they seed them and the best team plays the worst team. and subsequently, right? Like 1 plays 16, and then 2 plays 15, and 3 plays 4. Explained that all to him. And then I was like, and then Texas was the number 3 team, and they played the number 14 team. And Texas is this university, right? It's the biggest university in Texas. Means it's like top 5 university in the United States for public universities, which means it's like top 10 university for public institutions in the world.
More money than Davy Crockett.
School. Yeah, that's that school. And then
nobody's ever been to
Abilene. School, Abilene Christian. Which you've never heard of, and nobody's ever heard of for very good reason. And they beat that other team.
Crazy. Yeah. And then they got the brakes beat off of them in the next round by 20 points. It could have been way worse too. So
I promise we wouldn't talk about basketball.
Yeah,
so
no,
I'm going to ask you a strange question, Mr. Shark. Did you read Shaggy Bevo, or there was Surly Horns kind of existed whenever you were in school?
How aware are you guys as the players of message boards in general? Like, are y'all getting on 24/7? Are y'all checking out Inside Texas? Like, how often are y'all just checking out message boards, let alone our message board?
Speaking for me, I didn't look at a single one my whole 4 or 5 years or however long I was there.
Smart man.
Ever.
Smart man.
Other players that may be listening, do not fucking look at the message boards.
Yeah, just don't.
It was pointless. Like, those dudes don't play football. Like, there's no chance they could ever strap up with you on Saturday. Why are you reading what they have to say about your drops? They don't even understand the real football, the real footwork behind it. And you're letting some 40-year-old, 4'8", 260-pound dude that's sitting there drinking a beer tell you how to play football? I think not.
Yeah, this is hitting close to home. This feels like me.
No,
I'm taller than 4'8".
It's funny because it's like we'll be in the locker room like, Coach, your fat ass couldn't do this, and then you think I'm gonna listen to someone that can't even coach me? Yeah, right. Get the fuck out of here.
Very true. Speaking of that, how annoying was your Twitter when fans are tweeting at recruits? Like, it's my least favorite thing in the entire world is like these grown, like 50-year-old men are just sending messages to 16-year-old boys, and I'm like, that's just weird. It's predatory. Like, like how annoying was that as a top 100 recruit?
It is a slippery slope. You can either take it and run with it and think you're the biggest thing that matters because everybody seems to think that you matter. It's like a girl with a big butt but an ugly face. Everybody wants to hit her, but nobody really wants to because her face is ugly. You just gotta take it like a grain of salt, man. Like, there's nothing these people can do for you. You don't understand till you're later in your career, and a lot of us don't. It's just immaturity. So you take it and it bothers you. You hear it, you read it, but as you get older, it's like, well, I'm not even reading that shit. Like, my parents would send me articles all the time about me. I never read one of them. Not one. Good, bad, indifferent. Never read them because it didn't matter.
It's real strange.
Nobody's going to sit there and watch film with me for 8 hours before they went home and I had to wake up at 3 the next morning to pee. Like, nobody was doing that. So what they had to say didn't matter.
Yep, for sure. I think it's crazy too. Just like it's why what's the point of tweeting that 16-year-old boy that please go to my school? It's like, do you really think that one tweet is going to get that kid to pick Texas over A&M? And especially the not right. Once a kid chooses a different school, that's fucked up, right? Just like, number one, don't tweet at recruits. Don't tweet recruits.
Shark.
Easy.
I own Surly Horns, and I ban people that tweet. Like, you don't tweet at recruits.
Trying to talk to a 16-year-old boy.
Fucking rule. Yeah, you do.
But
not.
Speaking of
everyone wants to feel important, man. Everybody doesn't get to be in the limelight like these kids and these guys that are growing up. Like, they see a 16-year-old on ESPN and they're like, well, I've done 50 years of life and I've never had this level of anything. The level of accomplishment, level of feeling like I'm the man. Like, I've never reached this pinnacle of the alpha male. So they want to attack and try to be like the alpha male at the time. And they're upset that it's someone that did it in a much shorter time than them.
Man. Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, and if you think about it too, it's them reminiscing from their, high school football days and thinking, oh, if I got this tweet when I was a recruit, I totally would have chosen Texas. Yeah. And you're right. In the end, it's just irrelevant, but we got to get into your recruitment a little bit, being a top, I think you're 62 in the nation on 247.
Yeah. Consensus. You're consensus. Consensus. Let's just call it consensus top 65.
Yeah, easy. But what was the craziest moment in your recruitment?
When it all became real, it was really like, yo, you used to watch this list growing up, ESPN, what is it, 150? Yeah. Or what is it, 300 for football? Some number, whatever.
It's ESPN 150, yeah.
But it was just like growing up, like I watched people get on this list. Like I've been looking at these names, watching their highlights, watching their combines. And now it's whoa, that's me. Like kids are watching me. They're walking around with sharks. They're trying to be like, it all hit me at one time. Just, whoa, this is my actual life. Crazy. Like what I've been looking up to, the alpha male superstar athlete, like what the movies portrayed you to be or what you're supposed to be. I was like, I was living that lifestyle
there.
And it all clicked all of a sudden. Like you have a big responsibility to uphold, man.
I feel
the
like
same way you were looking at these kids, they're looking at you now. So, pay attention.
I feel like now that we've got you back in that place and you have this frame of reference that is very unique to compare to when you were out there working out at Pro Day, like mentally, physically, as a human, how much stronger did you feel?
How much have you grown?
How much have you grown? When you were a 17-year-old kid that got your first offer to a D1 school?
It's night and day, really. I'm nowhere near the same person. I wanted to be this mature when I was that age, but the experiences that I've had brought me to where I am now. I couldn't do it without these. So I couldn't run this race without the hardships and adversities that I've had to overcome to become this smarter, more realizing individual. And I'm still not growing here. Hell, I'm just getting started. So that's what was really scary to me is like the growth that I've had in 5 years. Imagine what I'll have when I'm 45.
Yep. Totally. I'm right there with you. I mean, obviously I wasn't a great, soon to be professional athlete, college athlete, but, I grew more from my, from when I graduated my senior year of college to when I got my first job and then learning, hey, this is what it takes to be a professional and to be, up there. So, I mean, you're having that plus, being able to trade for your pro day and, hopefully your future career as well. It's, that's a testament to the strength because it's crazy. I mean, that's a lot to take on your plate, especially, right out of school.
It's a lot, man. I have to worry about, well, should I have degrees, but I have no job. I want to play football. This is what I've trained my whole life for. It's not working out. It's not even in my hands. It's just a lot, man.
Yep.
And bills are still real. It just doesn't matter. Life just keeps going.
Yep.
Where I was going with that question is I'm really glad you answered it the way that you were, because I was going to just cut that if you didn't answer it that way. It's like the amount of growth and right, the strength that you feel as like a man, right? Not to be sexist, but like you're a man. That is a really special thing. And I think something that carries over into people that are really successful is understanding that I'm at the top of the world, and that doesn't mean you stop climbing, right? Yep. You got to keep climbing. You got to keep climbing. You got to keep going. And it doesn't matter where you think you are now, but like, it's not good enough. And that's a certain mentality. That's a certain mentality that I think some people, like you were talking about, the 4'8" midgets that are drinking beer that have never been at the pinnacle of their life, they'll never feel the way that you feel today because they don't feel that way, right? Where I'm at the top of the mountain, but I gotta keep climbing.
Yep.
They've never worked their whole life for something and had it snatched away at the last second.
Great point. Yep. Totally. Yeah, and especially being in the spotlight like that, it's hard to grow as a person like that. When you're cast expectations, it's hard to grow out of those expectations of you. But it's kind of learning to take it in and adapt and grow and focus on what's important. So kudos to you for doing that. That's awesome. I mean, anybody with a McCombs degree is going to be set for life. As long as they keep working and keep climbing up that mountain. And, kudos to you for doing that.
Oh, thank you. Shoot, it didn't come overnight, man. I was the same 16-year-old that had feeling like it wasn't my life anymore. It just took a lot of hurt for me to realize that I can't keep going on like this, living for everyone else. I have to do it for myself.
For sure. Speaking of your 16-year-old self, so you mentioned that you were recruited by Matt Brown.
Fuck you. I'm going to ask this question.
All right, let's hear it.
Did Taylor Ham follow you into the bathroom?
No. Man,
You heard that story, right?
about him following Malik.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no, he didn't follow me. He was pretty consistent. He was a very consistent dude. I would say that.
I guess that's one thing. So,
Hey, fuck you, Taylor Ham, if you're listening. Fuck you.
Yeah,
Jesus
he's definitely
Christ.
listening. He was on the original version of the Surly Horns podcast before I came on, and yeah, that's an interesting dude. But anyway, speaking of your recruitment, so you mentioned you were recruited by Mac Brown to start. So obviously you went through one coaching change recruiting you. So from Mac Brown to Charlie Strong, and then you've committed, and I guess you'd signed already when Charlie Strong got let go and Tom Herman came in.
I'd already
What was that?
played a season for Strong.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you played your freshman season for Strong. So how were those transitions, not just in your recruitment, but your first year?
Man, so when we went from Mac to Strong, I didn't realize what was going on. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I was still worried about Superman capes on my socks. I didn't care. I just knew it was a new coach there. It wasn't the same. I didn't really understand what all it entailed and what the recruiting process was really about to get into, because I was just so new into it. I was just barely finishing up freshman years. I just didn't get it. Now the second one, that one was hard.
That's hard, especially because Charlie seems like the most likable guy
longer
ever.
than I played for him.
Yeah.
Sean recruited me from sophomore year until the day I signed. So that was just a hard let go of those coaches that I had built such a relationship with. And it was so sudden. It was all just boom, overnight. All right, well, we're done here. We're gone. I'm leaving right now. I'll never see you again. And my phone number's off. Peace. I was like, whoa.
Man.
You just sat here and told my mom you was going to take care of me. What you talking about?
Yeah. Man, and then Tom Herman walks in and tells the linebacker to go sit the fuck up while he's talking.
You're gonna fucking eat burnt toast, and you're gonna wake up at 3 a.m. pissing a fucking piss.
Yeah, man, it was a complete 360. It went from family and we're here to make sure you're better to everything is a machine. You're a machine. This program's a machine. We take a piece out, put a new piece in, it keeps going. That was the idea of Herman. So it went from brotherhood to it was just a different environment.
Man, well, speaking of a new environment, so now we have Sark here. So, what are your feelings on Sark? You think he's going to be a big success here?
I think he's more like Coach Strong, but he has a greater grasp on football like Coach Herman did. Don't get me wrong. Herman gets the X and O's. Him and his dad, they get X and O's. Their people skills, I will say, weren't the best. But it's a business at the end of the day. They're not there to make you happy.
Did anybody ever call him Mensa to his face?
Call him what?
Mensa.
No, what's that?
Okay. Oh yeah, so he's a member of Mensa, the Genius Society or whatever it's called. Basically, he's a certified genius where everybody basically. This shows that you don't check the message boards because everybody just calls him Mensa.
That's good.
Because
it's a good thing.
He's just bragged about him being in this genius group Mensa for years and years and years.
It's officially the largest and oldest high IQ society in the world.
I cannot bullshit you. Herman is definitely the smartest person in every room he sits in. That man is
he the smartest, or does he like to act like it?
No, he is legit the smartest. He's so smart, he's socially awkward at times, but he's way smarter than what he even portrays. Like, if I would go sit down and have conversations with Herman completely outside of football about investments, about learning, about networking. Hell, he put me on with his realtor, who was the top realtor in the city for multi-million-dollar homes and sale of properties out in Austin. And my talk with Herman was he was able to introduce me to his realtor and help me network and build my way up throughout the development game. That's completely aside of football. Like, Herman's intellect was his greatest asset by far.
This season coming up, we're all super excited. Who do you have breaking out this season? Who's going to be the cock of the walk on defense?
Bijan Robinson.
A lot of these guys.
Wait, you said defense?
Defense.
Yeah, Bijan Robinson.
My boy T.O.
Which one?
If he fits into the scheme, Tyler Owens, if he fits into the scheme the way I think he will, it's his year.
That dude hits, man.
It's his year, for sure.
Dude, I love to hear that. I mean, he's one of those guys, especially with, Xavier Alford coming out or transferring out. It would be great to see somebody, come in, take Caden Stern's spot. I guess that's where he's looking, right? Or do you think he's going to be switching down?
He is one of the most talented safeties we have on the roster. We were just so deep for so many years. Caden, BJ, CV, DeMarvion. We just had 8 fucking 5-stars in front of him, so he couldn't touch the field.
It's crazy.
But he's grown. He's developed. He's been in college now. I expect a big year out of him.
Well,
yeah, that's.
I mean, you touch on something a little bit strange. Do you think that Merritt won starting positions under the Tom Herman coaching era? Or do you think that there was some talent that was left on the sidelines to yet develop in practice because the maturity wasn't there?
The DC we had was not good at developing talent, and he went off of who he recruited. He didn't necessarily, I don't think he put the best people out there at all times.
I hear any play.
I think it was based off of his emotions too much.
I could definitely see that.
We're getting into organizational politics a little bit. So there was autonomy from the person that was running the offense, the person that was running the defense, and the person that was running special teams. They did get to choose their guys. At least from the players' perspectives. At least from the players' perspective.
I wouldn't even say that. Texas is full of politics, man. It goes beyond X's and O's where you play there. It's not like a A&M. It's not like a Baylor. Baylor's straightforward, best player plays. A&M straightforward, best player plays. You have a lot more to deal with in the eyes of society at the University of Texas and who you play and how it matters. Because at the end of the day, it's not up to you, really. It's up to who signs your checks.
Great point. Yeah, I mean, I could totally see that. I mean, it's frustrating. Just so you know, from a fan's perspective, it's very frustrating for us, seeing guys, played out of position. I mean, Malcolm Roach was played as a fucking inside linebacker. I mean,
hold on.
Jeffrey McCulloch played as an inside linebacker, but I mean, we don't talk about it.
Jeffrey McCulloch played as an inside linebacker. So I'm going to say, I'm a Mac made me delete a question. My question was, did you feel like you were played out of position at the University of Texas?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, next question.
I'm telling you, so nobody was more frustrated than me too. So I was a big fan, coming up, with you getting recruited, you committing, and I'm thinking this guy's going to be screaming off the edge, and here you are, just hitting fullbacks.
Let me say this. So I can't be mad at them because they did what was best for the team. I was the better athlete than 90% of the defense. So I did what I had to do in order to help us win for the next 4 years. And I'm cool with that. As far as if that's where I fit, no. I was always the 6'3", long arms, outside backer, close the edge down, and pass rusher, block rusher, cover the flats. Everybody knows that's me. Everybody sees it on film. It's not like it's a secret. But I just did what I had to when the time called. My number was called. I needed to help my team, and that's what I did.
And kudos to you, because I wouldn't have been as big of a man. Because honestly, just me with my own dumb brain, my own not as smart as Tom Herman brain, I look at your film and I know this guy should be screaming off the edge, like Chris Ash used Joseph Osai last year. It's You have the long arms, you have the power. Why? I understand that. Okay, it's making the defense better. Then recruit better. Get an inside linebacker that will fit the position better. Why are you going to plug a square peg in a round hole when you could take that square peg and put it in a square hole?
Because they felt I was smart enough to be able to do it.
And you were.
Listen, I went from a down lineman, hand in the dirt, outside playing a 5-tech, to barely standing up leaving high school, to all of a sudden, you have reads, you have plays, you have these gaps inside. I was like, gaps? I ain't never had nothing but the D gap. What you talking about, read from A to C on the backside? I don't do that. So it was a tough transition, but I was so fast and agile and able to move around interior blockers that it didn't matter that I was able to make those plays. So it looked weird. But the job got done.
So for sure. Really fast question. Did Sam Ehlinger really tell Kyler Murray to take the lost pussy at the end of the game?
I don't know. I was too busy celebrating shit.
Hell yeah.
That's their problem. I was in the confetti doing angels. I was acting a fool all in the crowd with the hat. I had no clue what happened.
Hell yeah. Bro. You wore the hat?
Hell yeah, I wore the hat. Me and my mom wore the hat. I came and got her out of hands from the top. Mama, come here, put this hat on.
It
took us forever to get here. Y'all done gave up everything. My mom and dad gave up everything to get me to that level. So when I was finally able to share a bit of it with them, just the pure joy I saw on their face, I was like, yeah, y'all got to put this hat on. We've been watching this since Colt McCoy was hosting this.
Hell yeah.
There's no way.
Is that your favorite memory? Favorite memory of your playing days?
It was pretty damn. No, Notre Dame.
Oh, yeah. Whew.
You're gonna say that and then not expand,
bro? Like the only game on TV, what was it? Memorial Day, Labor Day, something like that. On a Sunday, no NFL games, nothing but you and the number one team in the country.
Everybody.
Or what were we, 3-5, something crazy? Double overtime with a diving touchdown to win and a pile up in the end zone with 2 million people outside screaming and another 100,000 inside. You can never ever compare that game to anything.
Oh man, I bet. Yeah, I remember watching that game live and just freaking out, thinking, "Okay, we're back."
Man, that game was so loud, like the ground was shaking, so I couldn't even get the hand symbols for where to go. I was just looking at Malik, where do I go? And he points at the gap. There, bet. As soon as ball snap, I hit the gap. That's it. That's all I knew. I didn't know none of the plays. That was my first game in college. I didn't know anything. Just run straight. See ball,
run
hit
straight
ball.
And hit somebody. You're playing special teams on defense. I love it. Run straight and hit somebody.
I mean, that's the best. That's the best type of playing.
No, really though, when you're not out there thinking, you're just able to see a gap and go tackle. That's when you play the best ball. It starts to bite you in the ass with youth. But as you get older, you can get away with it.
Well, I mean, we saw that between Todd Orlando and Chris Ash, in my opinion. Instead of Todd Orlando calling a blitz on 3rd and 17, instead, Chris Ash just let athletes be athletes and stop overthinking it. You know, it doesn't need to be overthought. You know, you don't need to run a deep safety blitz every third down.
Our boys just throwing some shots out here, man.
Oh, no shots. No shots. Hey,
you threw shots. That was a fucking shot. That was a fucking shot.
We said blitz on 3rd and 17. I'm dead.
You said that. That happened. That came out of your fucking mouth.
It was an example of a down and distance, I had to put out there. But either way, I mean, the safety blitz was not a great idea. I think the biggest thing is just when Chris Ash was brought in, which, I was down on the Ash hire. I actually like Todd Orlando. He just let athletes be athletes and stop overthinking it and stop worrying about, hey, this is my assignment. This guy's coming off the edges. It was just, hey, look, just react. And when you just let these, awesome athletes like yourself just react and use their God-given abilities, I mean, against, some little 5'7" guy named Deuce Harmon from Kansas State, things can happen.
I will tell you this. If you go back and watch the Kansas State game from my junior year, that was the first time Orlando ever let me be myself. And I had a hell of a game.
I will watch that.
Athlete on the edge versus Dalton Risner, the Broncos tackle right now.
Oh, yeah.
I watched my film. I got my playbook. I studied throughout the week. I studied Dalton. And when the game came, Orlando didn't tell me anything. He said, just go play. And and I had a hell of a game, man.
That's it. That's all you got to do. We're recruiting the best and the brightest. Let them be the best and the brightest. Yeah, just
you don't buy a Ferrari to put a governor on it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's exactly it.
You don't run a top fuel dragster on fucking gasoline. Okay, let's switch gears a little bit and let's talk about your time on campus, but off the field.
Okay.
Did you live on campus the whole time?
No, I got kicked out the dorms. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Right. Okay. So So
they were too strict, bro. They wouldn't let us ride hoverboards. I had a pit bull in my dorm room.
Oh man.
I was just going. My music was always too loud. I got rid of
God damn it. Okay, so this question's ruined. I was gonna say, did you like living on or off campus better? And then now,
no, don't get me wrong. The dorms were the best time of our lives. We had Call of Duty battles. It was 1 week straight where one dude had BB guns and he was shooting everybody. We don't even remember who started it. So everybody in the dorms went to academy and bought the biggest BB gun, automatic metal BBs. And we're just lighting dudes up, waiting on the elevator door to open up, just lighting dudes up. It turned into a full-out Call of Duty battle. It got so bad. It got so bad that they called the actual police because we were building barricades in the dorms. Like, we were tearing people up. It was war. People couldn't even live there. So they called the police in, and the police come and get coach. They're like, look, we need to walk the dorms, but you need to go over there and tell all your players put their guns up because we're not going to ask questions. We're going to shoot. We don't know that's a BB gun that looks like a gun. We're going to shoot. So coach calls us up at like 2 in the fucking morning. He wakes everybody up in the door. Everybody get up. Team meeting right now. The police just called me. We're like, bro, they really called you because we were shooting airsoft. Like, you got us over here at 2 in the morning for our game.
Oh
he made it. They came over there. They marched us back from the team room, asked everybody who had them. And if you told you had it, they walked back to your dorm and took them with them. Like, they came and picked everybody's guns up. And then the cops came through. They came to talk to us. That was one of the best times in the dorm. I take that back. That's time number 2. But during the transition of when Strong got fired to Herman being hired, we didn't have a coach from the last game we lost in November until February.
That's true. That is true.
Bruh, we had money.
Crazy.
We had nobody to tell us what to do. No academic advisors, no coaches, no workouts, and they were paying us like $2,000-3,000 a month.
Damage.
We was like, yeah, it's time to go crazy. We did everything we wanted to do. There was no class.
But how did you
every day?
What was the
It was the first time being a
best
college
pooled
student.
resource thing that you did? Like where you could pool your resources together.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like, yeah,
Like during that time. Like during that time.
What are we talking?
Yeah. If you pooled your resources together and said, we're gonna all put money together to do this one thing. Did y'all have like a big
Toga
or did
party
everybody
or
just
shit?
go and buy cases and kegs and just
I was like, there was no need for one big thing. Everything was a big thing every day.
God.
Oh!
What the fuck you mean? We go to Twin Liquors, buy $200 worth of liquor every day.
Oh my
Nice.
God.
Each person. It was nothing else to do. We weren't going to class, so it's not like we had homework. We was gonna be drunk the rest of the night. We were gonna go out. We were gonna spend all night out 4 or 5.
Yeah, it was off season. Yeah, it was off season.
Imagine how that
Literally,
piss
our
test
off
would
season
go.
started in November. We had nothing to do. It was amazing.
And then Tom Herman shows up and you're taking piss tests. So
Yeah, it was a quick turnaround, bro. We was like, wait, I just didn't have to go to class. Now I got to be up 6 hours earlier than that.
So is Charlie's finger really that long? You know, there's that picture of him when he's got the hat on and he's pointing his finger.
Always.
Is it really that
I
long?
was pointing that little ass finger. I don't know. Charlie has just a little period. Just a little angry mint munchkin all the time. Just angry.
we've seen that step stool. So
I mean,
yeah,
he's
he
at
just
the
be angry and
Jack.
talking
You
shit
gotta
all
you
the
gotta
time.
watch it, man. He may want some fucking shark action over there in Jacksonville,
He can
right?
come-
I mean,
he
he's a
knows it.
linebackers coach. He's a linebackers
Yeah.
coach in the NFL now.
that's right.
Yes, he is. I just talked to him and BJ not too long ago.
Nice.
We'll see if something happens there, if something shakes
How's he
there. But
doing?
Strong,
How's he
family.
feeling? Is he feeling pretty good? Is he liking his new setup? Is he liking being back with Urban Meyer and
busy is what I'll say. They're busy over there. Very, very busy. Keeping them going.
So whenever
you said you didn't
were,
read the message boards, you said you don't read do you read them now?
Nope.
Because we had this fucking thread that was thousands of pages long, where everybody was convinced at Texas that Urban Meyer was going to come here.
and talks
I
happen.
remember that.
Yeah, did you hear a lot of that? You know, from players and stuff.
I was like, yeah, we hear it.
Yeah,
We don't take it too serious until something's all said and done. Because shit, if you listen to all of them, you done had Saban, you done had Urban, we done had everybody. We done had Les Miles.
Well, I mean, they were shopping for houses.
yeah, they were.
Basically.
$12 million is what was left on the table, and Urban Meyer turned it down to go coach the Jaguars. So
For how
we'll
much?
see how that plays out. Oh shit, Urban did get 12 mil
Oh, they matched him.
supposedly.
Okay, so you raged in between, the Strong and Herman eras, and then you were off campus for a bit, living in wherever you were living.
South Congress.
Oh, nice.
So
It's beautiful.
That's an area right there. How often
Yes,
do you eat
it
at
is,
Homeless?
Way too often. That's why I was 260 in college.
Yeah,
Way more than I should have.
You're about to get spun down to DT.
If I wasn't careful, really though.
Yeah.
So,
sure.
what was the weirdest thing that happened to you, not football related and seemingly not player related, where you were just in Austin as a person and you were just out and about?
You get hit with reality once you take your jersey off. You realize that you're nothing more than a number, asset to the team. And when you're no longer recognized as that, you're not treated like such. So I had a situation where I was just finished my final for the #1 finance program in the country. I wanted to celebrate. We're normally supposed to eat healthy, so I decided to go to Whataburger. I'm going to treat myself to one of my favorite burgers.
South
Double
First,
And while I was there-
South First, or on campus?
On campus, on Guad.
Okay.
And while I'm there, a homeless man decided that I was not one of his favorites because I decided to not give him some money for whatever his activities were. Whatever he wants to partake in, I told him no. And so he called the police and gave them a description of a black male in a black vehicle that had just beaten a woman up in his car and robbed him at gunpoint. So the police pulled up to Whataburger and I fit the description, of course. And I was taken out the car, profiled, they beat shit out of me, broke my phone, moved my car, arrested me. And all that over $1, man. It was just a weird, surreal feeling like I've done everything I can for this university. I'm getting a fucking master's, but at the end of the day, I'm still just a black man, y'all. I mean, nothing more, nothing less. So that was probably one of my weirdest and worst experiences out in Austin.
Yeah, that should be the worst experience for any human. Nobody deserves to go through something like that. That's fucking heavy, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. And I just can't relate to experiences like that. And just hearing something like that just puts everything into perspective for you. The world's fucked up, dude. The world's fucked. And
Yes,
I
it
think
is.
and I think it's on us to make it a better place, to to raise our children. Obviously, I'm back as a kid, I have two, and just teaching them the right way to go about things, where it's not about that. It's just hard. And to see that on the news, and to see what's not reported to the news, like that wasn't, just to see what happens
Slip under the
behind the
rug.
scenes. It's fucking crazy.
Yep, and it was really just an eye-opening experience. It was like, damn, these same cops are the ones that do the fucking police escort for me to get into the stadium on game day. And y'all are out here beating the shit out of me now. Like, y'all don't even realize who I am. And you'll be standing right next to me in 2 days, walking me in with my shoulder pads.
Man.
That's crazy.
Man.
And that's what I was going to ask is some of the stuff that we saw this past season was way overdue, right? Way overdue for taking a stand, way overdue for some of the things that we talked about.
Awareness.
And not to get, we call our politics board's called the Cloakroom. For I don't know if you know, but there's this.
We're not a Cloakroom
bar.
podcast.
There's this bar down next to the Capitol called the Cloakroom, and that's why it's called the Cloakroom. But not to get into too much of the political side of this, but how much did you feel that really affected the way that people carried themselves on campus, around the program, and have you seen a shift since this all has really gone down in the last, 12 to 18 months in the way that things are viewed, especially from the university's perspective?
So I wasn't at school when any of the reforms started to happen, when they started changing the song or any of that. I was already gone.
You were already
but
gone.
I can see it from the outside looking in, and from talking to some of the guys I know on the team, it seems like it's some actual things being changed and we're being heard finally. Because campus
Well,
is
I'm saying your
awkward.
perspective from like what you actually experienced from what you perceive being the experience now.
So I really can't say because I wasn't physically in it. I can only say what I'm seeing from the outside. So they could release as many pressers as they want, but they could really not be listening to shit and just saying something. So I don't know, and I don't want to give you an answer, and I don't honestly know.
Of course. Yeah, no, and I think the biggest thing is just bringing that awareness to it, bringing awareness to the issue, and making sure that, it is an inclusive, environment, as everything in the world should be. It just makes me mad and sad that it even needs to be a conversation, but obviously it does. So, hopefully just things keep getting better and progressing. That's all you can ask for.
Honestly, because now that all this has come to light and the cops see that there are consequences for their actions, they'll think twice about the next kid that they rip out of car on campus. Agreed. Yeah, they may not have thought about it with me, but that may be my brother next time. At least they'll have to think about it twice before they even put their hands on you.
Yep. That's all you can ask. I mean,
just a chance to survive. That's all I wanted.
Well, moving past some heavy stuff. Let's
I was going to say, who's your favorite recruit in the 2022 class? Jesus fucking Christ.
But no, that's good. This is what this platform's here for. It's not just for, for laughs and to talk about football. It is to make a difference. I think, and any chance, any voice that gets a chance to express that voice and their opinions to it, it could just be one, if it's one mindset change that makes a difference. So, thank you for sharing your perspective, because it's one that I can't ever share.
Absolutely, man.
So, rolling back into football, let's get a little football talk before we close this out. I know we've taken a lot of your time, but, what's your prediction next season? What are we going to look like?
It's so hard to judge right now. Like, I
spring
just
practice
don't know with this corona. Yeah.
Let me go first. Let me go first. Bijan Robinson runs for 1,600 yards.
Heisman.
Yes. No.
I don't know how many touchdowns, but 1,600 yards.
I don't know about that one. I think he's gonna go off. I think he's gonna be a monster. I just don't know. That's a tall feat right there. We'll see.
I know it is.
Yeah, I mean, hey,
Stan Drayton is Stan Drayton.
It's not just like he's the only running back there too. I mean, Roschon Johnson's a beast in himself.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think either of those guys skips leg day. From the spring practice videos, Jesus.
They like to hurt people, and that's a good thing. But yeah,
that's just it. That was never Rowe. Like, we could never touch Rowe. That's why I just don't get it.
He's a quarterback.
Where did this come from? We couldn't
He's
touch
a quarterback.
you. How did you become physical?
Yeah, he's a quarterback. Just throwing touchdowns. And now he just wants to put his screws into somebody's chest. I love it.
Yeah, no, that shit just don't make sense to me at all. Rowe used to get in trouble for sliding at practice, and now he's one of the toughest runners in the Big 12. I don't fucking get it, but whatever. That's whatever.
I don't know about just the Big 12, right? In the fucking NCAA.
You saw Sam Ellinger hit too many people.
You must have.
Yeah.
That was just another thing. Like, all of them, just some hard-headed motherfuckers. They just all want to hit somebody. Y'all play quarterback, bro. Throw the football.
Just throw it. Just come on.
Did Sam like to get physical in practice? Sam
would get physical in yes. Like, we couldn't touch him. Yes.
Oh my God.
But he could touch you.
Bro, yes.
But he could touch you.
Yes.
Oh my God. I bet.
That's not fair.
Offense is wrong with Herman. Like, we couldn't end practice until offense won. We could stop them 80 times in a row. Until offense got a score, we weren't stopping practice.
Oh, so did Sam start to take it like real serious after? Like, if that was a rule, did Sam take that like real serious?
Sam took everything serious from day one.
Sam took everything serious. Nice.
I mean, he did. He was just a professional from day one. That's the reason they had so much faith in him to put him out there as a freshman to compete with Shane. He came in like a grown man.
I mean, that USC game, that alone, I was bought in.
Yeah.
Like,
if Sam didn't come in with the grown man mentality he had, there was no way he was able to step into that scenario.
No, that's
I think it's very few quarterbacks that come in ready to play like that. Shane and Sam were two of them for sure.
Yep, it's crazy to see to think too they were competing. I mean, then you look what Shane did at SMU, and you're like, holy shit! Like there are two players here. I mean,
man, I remember watching. We talked about it on the podcast before. I remember watching Shane his first spring game and being like, this guy fucking balls.
Shane just didn't fit in this system. He needed better receivers. Not to say our receivers are bad. Like, no shots at none of our guys. I love all y'all out there, man. But he needed an elite receiver or two because he had that type of arm. Shane can make the boundary side to the field sideline throw. You feel me? And we just didn't have players that could run routes that would equate to that ball coming. We had Colin Johnson, but I mean, you put two people on him, shit, that's over with. Then we had LJ, and we were able to sling the ball around with him. But then we lost him after 1 year. He blew up. So it's just Shane really never had a chance to get going because he got in with the freshmen. They were just getting their feet under him. Colin wasn't nearly what he was at the end. LJ wasn't what he was at the end. It was just Shane needed a Colt McCoy.
Yeah.
Off the rip. That was a problem.
Yep. I mean, I totally agree with that. And it was always funny with those offense. It was always one position lacking. So when you had the skill positions, you had the running back, the offensive line wasn't there. Yeah. When the wide receiver wasn't there, the offensive line was there. So nobody was open. So it's just like, it just never clicked. And I don't even know how far you have to go back to, figure out whose fault that is. But I think there's a lot of people.
It was way before Strong. It hadn't clicked since Colt got hurt, basically.
Yeah.
David came in, he got hurt. Swoops came in, he wasn't the Colt or Vince. Then
Gerard.
He wasn't none of them. It was a long path of not right until Shane. So Shane didn't really stand a chance.
I mean, I don't know. I feel pretty strongly about David Ash, but David Ash got fucking.
Yeah, he just got hurt too soon.
Brain damaged. Yeah, I mean, that's a bummer.
Big time bummer.
And I think he was the best one that's ever come through there, to be honest with you.
I mean, yeah, he was great.
Yeah,
he ran better than VY. Colt was just a playmaker. I think David was going to be the best.
That's what he was incredible. He was incredible. It was so fun to watch that guy play from where I sit, but.
Concussions, man. I mean, they're real.
That's a real deal.
Yeah,
don't let a lot of you.
Hey, I had 4 in high school, and I still get migraines. So, yeah, I don't know. Y'all taking all these hits
every day. We live. You'll live.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you follow recruiting, like active recruiting, much?
No, I don't. I should be much better at it. I just got so much going on, bro. I don't have time to watch little kids right now. I'll see it when they get on the field. Because I know what it means. True. Like, you can be 5-star and you won't play ever. You can be a 1-star, 2-star, and be fucking Sam Cosmi by the time you leave. It just depends on if you're willing to put your head down and work. It doesn't matter what you do now. And your little tights running around, touching people, playing tag football, that shit don't mean nothing. You get up and play LSU, you get off the edge with guys. Watch what happens. You're going to spin off you just like you spun off me. Touchdown. That shit does not matter.
Preach.
Yep, that's facts. Yeah, it's all about the work ethic. We keep coming back to it. Putting your head down and climbing that mountain, man.
Because Joe didn't come in like that at all. Joe was really uncoordinated, a weird kid. Like when he got there, he didn't fit at all. And he turned into a first rounder by the time he left just because he worked. He worked his way into that position.
Yeah, that guy had a motor, man. I mean, yeah, that's crazy.
Unbelievable motor.
All right. So you can't tell us which NFL team that you want, like that you desire most.
Whoever wants to pay me.
To be. But as somebody that grew up a football fan, who are some of your favorite NFL players that you admired growing up? And then what are some of your favorite franchises or your favorite franchise?
Or who's scouting you?
I really thought I was going to win the state championship, go to UH, win a natty, then go play for the Texans and win the Super Bowl, That's all every Houston little kid dream, like win everything in the city. Of course, life has not happened like that. But literally, whoever wants to pay me, I don't care where I go. Of course, I have loyalty to the Texans. Just I'm a Houston man. The hell, they're tattooed on my leg. That's my city. That's where I'm from.
Not me anymore. If you go back and listen to a couple of podcasts, I gave him up. I rooted for him since 2002, and I decommitted. Yeah, I can't do it anymore. And especially now,
like I said, I'm not here for politics. I'm not here for none of that. Just send me a paycheck every Tuesday, and we are good to go. I ain't got nothing to do with what y'all with Sean. None of that. That has nothing to do with me. I'm here to do my job and my job only.
Facts.
So that brings us to the most important question yet. Stack rank your favorite 3 cereals.
Honey Bunches of Oats, 1. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, 2. What's 3? Either Frosted Flakes or Cocoa Puffs for 3.
Dude, we were twins until the third. Seriously, 1 and 2, same for me. My third, Fruity Pebbles, all day.
Oh, yeah.
Now that was my brother. I couldn't do like the different textures and taste, the color. It was just too much for me. I'm no simple man. Like Honey Bunches of Oats, 1 taste. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, 1 taste. Reese's, that was about as diverse as I got. Like I didn't do the Fruit Loops and Fruity. I could do all that.
No,
I like one flavor. What it's supposed to taste like.
Captain Crunch with Crunch Berries. That's mine. I love it.
Yeah, there we go.
Shit it has to be the Crunch Berries. Otherwise, you're just cutting the roof of your mouth for no fucking reason.
I can't eat any Captain Crunch without smoking too much weed. Because it turned. There's a certain point where you're high enough to where the cutting of the roof of your mouth is enjoyable. That's when I really love Captain Crunch.
You gotta let it sit in the milk for a good minute before you even touch it, bro.
For sure.
If you even think about it, you're gonna have a shredded mouth.
But also, if you're like, I'm a big dry cereal guy. Like, if I'm like not going milk, I don't care. Captain Crunch, and then I just wake up the next morning and just you brush your teeth and your mouth is just on fucking fire between the mint and the blood. But it's delicious while it's happening to you. So
no, Cinnamon Toast Crunch dry. I mean, not Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Captain Crunch dry is not it. That's like eating Popeye's biscuit dry. That's just not it. Not it at all, bro.
Did you said Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Did you see the shrimp tails in the Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
Huh?
Oh, what happened today?
Y'all have to look this up. So this guy on Twitter, he posted about Cinnamon Toast Crunch and said, "Hey, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, why are shrimp tails in my cereal?" They were cinnamon coated, sugar coated shrimp tails at the bottom of his Captain Crunch. Turns out a rat got in the box at Costco and had brought in shrimp tails. They were shitting in it, and there was string inside of the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And Cinnamon Toast Crunch got all heated about it too. They're like, "That's not ours. That's not us." It's like, it's real. Like, you got to get on Twitter and you got to look up shrimp tail Cinnamon Toast Crunch and just read the entire fucking thing. It's the craziest story ever.
Happen?
Literally like today or yesterday.
That's disgusting.
It had like 30,000 retweets or something on Twitter. It's like the biggest story in the world right now. Is Cinnamon Toast Crunch? They're taking a hit.
Oh yeah, shorted. Perfect.
Yeah. Hey, that's it.
What is it? Kellogg? Short Kellogg in the morning for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
At least for the opening.
Yeah, no, I'll buy it the dip.
Yeah.
So
catch it around 10 a.m. tomorrow. It'll be all right.
Yep.
So there's a lot that goes on Surly Horns that, I mean, fortunately, unfortunately, fortunately, I don't know how you frame it, that have absolutely nothing to do with sports, Austin, UT athletics, none of that. And one of the best threads on the board right now is about these things called sugar babies. What do you know about sugar babies?
Been one a few times. I mean, it was college. You gotta do what you gotta do, man.
There you go.
So there's this one guy. We're gonna call him Uncle Boobs because that is his name on the board. He likes to perform cunnilingus like a lot on women. It's almost like from what we understand, at least from sugar babying, what we've absorbed is that the objective is actually to PYTs, pretty young things, are the sugar babies, and then the sugar daddies are like the ugly old men or just like dudes that have money or like whatever.
No, I do sugar moms too. It's really like all the old ladies who husband work all the time and they just go sit at like the Groves or places in Austin that have wine all day and get drunk. If you walk in like 2 or 3 tall, handsome black men that are young, they're all over us immediately. Go sit at the bar, drink some wine with them, talk for about an hour, get them to go ride some bikes around town, do some young shit, something they ain't done in a minute, give them a little exhilarating feel. Oh yeah, they gonna call you next week. They gonna do something. They gonna take you to lunch. They gonna pay for some stuff. Hey, you want to pay for the Wi-Fi bill this month? Sure, I got you. How much? $200.
Hell yeah!
You're getting everything paid for: TV, Wi-Fi, phone. Yeah,
breaking news: Shark McCulloch was a sugar baby. I love it.
He was a sugar baby.
Man, look, them old ladies love some Jeff. Hey,
zero judgment.
So where I was going with that is our friend Uncle Boobs. He's a giver. He has the jaw of a velociraptor.
You're going to ask a question. I just can't let you ask the question.
No.
Supposedly this guy has given cunnilingus for 7 to 8 hours straight.
He's given what?
Yeah.
He ate some girl's pussy for like 7 hours.
Yeah. He
Bruh.
Hey, that dude a trooper there, shit.
Yeah.
My jaw would clench up. Like, how do you even? Oh, yeah. I think I said it would cramp up like a dehydrated 7-year-old at a soccer game.
Yeah, no, I think I'm a warrior, but I don't know if I can go that long, baby.
Hey, it's all about climbing that mountain. We're going to go back to the serious stuff again. It's about climbing that mountain, right? I think we got to end it there on that note.
That's Mount Everest. I don't know about that
one. That's like some without oxygen shit.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't know how you did that.
Man, well, I think we should end it there. I think you got to end it with 8 hours. But Shark, thanks again for coming on, man. This is great. We had a great time. Open invite anytime you want to come on, or if any of your former teammates want to come on, open invite for them. They always have a platform to speak with the Surly Horns podcast. And shout out your Twitter, shout out your business ventures. Let's let the Surly
shout out whatever you want to shout out. Yeah, let's get
absolutely, man. Y'all go check me out on Instagram and Twitter at JMcCulloch17 on Twitter and 23 on Instagram. On Instagram, there's links in my bios to all of my different pages that we have, Life After Media, JD Booking. And if you have any type of ventures that you would like to talk to me about, discuss, if you want me to consult on a project with you or anything of that nature, feel free to hit me up on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok. They're all the same thing.
Excellent. Well, thanks again, man. And yeah, we can't wait to get this out and hook them.
Absolutely, man. Hook them. Thank you guys for having me.